Just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, DICE announces that they're bringing out a naval combat-themed DLC for Battlefield 4. To be fair, I never thought it was safe to go into the water. Naval Strike, the third Battlefield 4 DLC pack, is all about the watery skirmishes, which means new maps and vehicles specifically designed to make the most of the game's fancy water mechanics. First up is Wavebreaker. This map centres on a hidden submarine pen full of gantries and entrances and crisscrossed by a canal, making it an indoor area that's accessible to boats as well. You can make it less accessible to boats by shutting the doors with these control consoles, and if you really want to make a scene, you can shoot out the sub's support struts and drop it on anyone unfortunate enough to be examining its underside at the time. Next up is Lost Island, which is legally distinct from the island from Lost, despite similar looking sand, trees and giant crashed airliner in the middle of it. If it's getting in the way, you can always just blow a hole through the centre, creating a handy path for sweet jumps. Then there's Nansha Strike, a small huddle of islands in the South China Sea. The majority of Nansha Strike is water. In fact, it's the largest section of open water in a Battlefield game, so expect to do a lot of swimming if someone nicks the last rib boat. Finally, we have Operation Mortar, a cliffside resort with idyllic beach huts and a historic fort set into the hillside, which is a must-visit for fans of spooky castle interiors. The top of the fort features an honest-to-goodness old-timey pirate cannon, which, even though it has a range of about 4 feet and takes approximately 11 hours to reload, is still a pirate cannon, so come on, what else are you going to do? There's also a new vehicle, the Hovercraft, which is just as good on sea and on land. Which is to say I'm equally terrible with it on both. The last point of interest for the DLC is the new Carrier Assault mode, a retooled version of the Titan game mode from Battlefield 2142. In it, each team has an aircraft carrier. Your team has to activate missile launchers around the map, which will damage the enemy team's carrier. Once the carrier hits 50% health, a hole is blown in the side, allowing your team to pile in and run around destroying their MCOM stations. Once those are gone, you'll get access to the engine room, where you can destroy the ship and win the match. Naval Strike is due in late March for Battlefield Premium owners and in April for everyone else. Just enough time to figure out how to drive this hovercraft. Maybe.